Kasha, and I love food. I'm originally from New York, and I moved to Atlanta about 15 years ago. I didn't have any friends here, I didn't know anybody, so the way I found my friends was to wine and dine at famous restaurants. I made friends with bartenders who then introduced me to their friends. And today, I'm blessed with a lot of friends and amazing recipes I'd love to share with you. Today I'll be cooking a Thai basil chicken stir fry, and my friend Casey is my guest. Casey is going to experience a very new change in his life by putting on muscle mass, leaning out, and trying to get that six-pack. So being from Dubai, he's not quite sure how to take out all those fancy spices and sodium. So tonight I'm going to teach him how to use low sodium, low sugar, high protein, amazing vegetables, and a few spices that are very lean and low sodium that'll help him get to his goal. So the star ingredients tonight are chicken breasts cut into 1-inch cubes, farro that's been pre-cooked, and the recipe for that is found on the website. Our vegetables include baby bok choy, carrots, garlic, red and orange, yellow peppers, scallions, ginger that will be grated, and I chose a Thai chili pepper instead of a serrano pepper today, broccoli, and then sticking to low sodium soy sauce, rice vinegar, peanut oil, water chestnuts for texture, of course, sesame seeds, low sodium chicken broth, again low sodium, sticking to that, and my pink Himalayan sea salt, just in case I want to add a little bit of taste. So we preheated our peanut oil in the saute pan and then added our chopped minced garlic for about 1 minute until it got a little softened, but definitely not browned. Our chicken has been marinating in our 3 liquids, the rice vinegar, the low sodium sauce, and the peanut oil. So we're gonna add this in, just checking my ingredients to make sure. And turn up the heat. And we're gonna saute the chicken chunks in our liquids and minced garlic until our next step, which will be the ginger. An easy way to peel a ginger root is to get up under the skin with a spoon and press along the skin, and voila. And you just keep peeling until your ginger root is peeled. No knife required. So now that our meat is browning, we added our ground ginger, kind of minced, not so much ground. You can grate it or mince it yourself. The juices are now absorbing into the chicken, which is going to flavor the chicken to taste like all the juices that we added. And we'll cook this for about another 2 minutes so the meat is tender, no longer red or pink, white if not brown, and the ginger is slightly discolored from its original color. Medium to high heat. Now that we've got our meat, chicken, to the point where it's cooked and the ginger has tenderized and become effervescent and smelling our entire kitchen, we're going to use our low sodium chicken broth. Half of a can should be sufficient to feed 4 people. And then we chopped 1 large shallot, minced pieces, add that in, and that will definitely aromatize the broth and the chicken and the garlic to the point where we're ready to go with our vegetables. So mix this well and let it sit for about 1 minute before you add your chopped vegetables. Since Casey can't consume much sugars, we're trying to use a natural sugar additive, which is carrots. So I've cut some fresh carrots, and I don't peel the outside. I scrub it very diligently, but I retain all the nutritional value of the skin of the carrot, which also contains most of the sweetness. I diced it very thinly. I'll add that in, and that's gonna sit for about 2 minutes in the current mixture. Once this 2 minutes is up, we're gonna add our next vegetable. Our next ingredient is broccoli. I've diced it up very small and fine so it fits on a fork with a piece of chicken and some other vegetables. You want to make each piece of vegetable fit accordingly to your mouth. Otherwise, you're gonna make a mess. Casey, we don't want you to make a mess. We add this in and let the broccoli cook for another 2 minutes. Pretty much on a 2-minute segment right now. Mix that in with the broth. The broth will steam the broccoli, and then we go on to our next vegetable. God, we love vegetables, don't we? And our next ingredient is the Thai chili pepper. The reason I'm using this versus a serrano or jalapeno is we're making a Thai basil chicken. So we're trying to stick to a Thai theme. The type of pepper this is versus the other peppers is kind of the same quality of heat. It maybe just has a little different taste. Like a Thai basil tastes different than an Italian basil. So forth, we use this ingredient. So I've minced it up small. This was just there to show you what it originally looked like. That's it minced up. And the last thing you ever want to do is touch this and go, ooh, in my eye. You'll cry, worse than an onion. Let's drop it in. Let's drop it like it's hot because this will put some heat into your dish. If you don't like spice, don't add this item. This will sit for 1 minute. I know we've been on 2-minute increments. This is a 1-minute increment vegetable. Mix well, let it sit and stew. We are almost there, everybody. The smells, the aromas, my friends are walking in. Casey just arrived and he's like, what the is on the oven? Look at that broccoli, bright green. Our second to last vegetable additive is yellow and red peppers, diced kind of bite size. Again, we're trying to get everything that fits onto a fork properly. We're gonna add that in. We're gonna let that stew. We're back to our 1 minute again. Wow, look at this marriage of colors. We're finally getting to a place where not only is this gonna taste good, it looks good. Come on, don't you wanna jump into that with a big fork or a spoon? Now, I'm chopping this baby bok choy behind the scenes, and I'm cutting off the white parts and separating the soft leafy green parts because I want to put the harder parts in first, saute them for 1 minute extra before I put in the soft greens. So if I put them both in at the same time, these soft greens are going to wilt and be mush. And again, I'm a texture girl. We're not going to ruin our texture at this point. So chop off the whites until you get to about right there. Separate them, add that in first, and then we'll add in the leafy greens. So we have the lower limbs of our baby bok choy cut off, adding them to our existing pot before we add their tops in. And 1 minute to go. Mix and let it stew for 1 minute. The baby bok choy will actually make this the most Thai dish possible other than the ginger and all the seasonings because baby bok choy is used in Asian countries, not so much in America. It's a sad thing because baby bok choy is tastier than spinach, and yet Americans eat more spinach. Eat more bok choy. Our last entry to our dish tonight is the tops of our baby bok choy. Very delicate leaves that were chopped very finely, like you would do a basil or cilantro. Add that into the top of the dish. And we don't need to mix this because they're so delicate that if they hit heat too quickly, they'll wilt very quickly. So we're just gonna leave them on top, spread them around, decorate our platter that is cooking, and let that sit for 1 minute. Come on guys, you getting the routine? All right, once this is done, we're gonna add our rice alternative, which is farro tonight, and I'll explain that in a minute why we chose that, and then sesame seeds and water chestnuts. Oils, chicken, vegetables, spices, chicken broth, and all the goodness that we've added, including ginger, bok choy, broccoli, peppers, shallots, are now going to be plated with our special farro. And before I said to you why I chose this over brown rice, farro has a very unique texture, and it's got a little bit more bite, a little bit more crunch. And eating brown rice when you're eating food that's a little bit lower sodium and less sugar makes you feel like you're eating something heartier and more stable than just a mushy brown rice. Now we're gonna top this dish with a few extra stuff. I told you water chestnuts and scallions, so let's go there next. So as I mentioned, I minced up some water chestnuts and some scallions fresh, and all I did was plate as I did previously. Just gonna add a little bit of texture to the meat and vegetables with the water chestnuts and add the scallions to my farro. And there we have our final dish. A little au jus to mix in with the farro so it's not dry. Our chicken, our vegetables, and lots of texture. You know, Kasha loves texture. I like flavor, and I don't like anything to be bland. So if you're on a diet, don't take away from that. Find other alternatives to make things flavorful, healthy, and substantial. Tonight on Recipes for Friends, I was lucky to cook for my dear friend Casey, who's on a new adventure in diet and nutrition and trying to put on protein, weight, muscle mass, and getting that lean, mean six-pack. He is on his way and eating my entree tonight, which is the Thai basil chicken. It's low carb, low sugar, very low sodium, and this is Casey. Casey, welcome to dinner tonight.
Thank you, Keisha. I'm gonna try a bite. I always thought that, cooking healthy food is gonna be difficult and time consuming, but tonight I'm here with a fresh mindset, and let's see how it turns out. Cooking healthy or eating healthy doesn't have to be boring. It could be tastier. You have changed my perspective towards eating healthy food. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you very much. And the next time you want to cook a recipe for a friend that's different, unique, or a special diet, or just something that reminds you of a friend that you traveled with or a friend that you haven't seen in a while, hit me up on social media, Facebook or Instagram, and make a comment and ask me, what can I do for my friend, family member, or somebody in need of a new diet? Recipes for Friends. Have a great night.